Hello, you're welcome once again to another interesting episode of Inside Out. And this week we have a topic which, would cause for some kind of talk, debate, if you like. I was having a conversation with a friend, and this has happened over time. And they were discussing marriage, and they were like, most of what you see out there as marriage is not really as nice as you think it is.
Yes.
That people put up a front, and that today marriage is more like bondage. It's no longer about partnership. And I was wondering, can that really be true? Because if I look at, I remember my grandmother used to tell me a story of how my grandfather used to bring his girlfriends to the house, and she would have to serve them. And I would say to myself, for real? And she said, yes, so in our time, whatever the man says is what you do. There's no room for argument, no room for debate. And if you didn't do it, I said, so you would, I remember having the conversation with my grandmother. I said, so he will bring a woman home. You know that the woman is his girlfriend. And you go and cook and come and serve them. And she will say, yes, so if you want to keep your home, you do things like that. And I look at today and I'm saying, can any man really try that? I mean, for me, that is what I would have called bondage. So is it that women of nowadays are becoming too, what's the word, liberal? Too westernized? Is that the problem? And so they're starting to see a lot of the things which maybe are just culture and tradition as being bondage? Or is it that there's a lot more going on than what we see? That's what we're going to try to find out today. And I hope we have a panel, I trust we do actually, that's going to really explain this to us. What is the reason for, there's a high rate of divorce, separation nowadays. I mean, and I'm thinking, if our parents in those days with what they have described to us stayed in there, can we really say that marriage today is bondage, or are we just becoming very liberal? That's what we'll be analyzing today, marriage or bondage. What is it? What is happening today? Why the increase? What's going on? We're going to start our introductions from our left. Please help me welcome Mr. Ifeanyi Mba. You're welcome. Then, no stranger on Inside Out. We know her, we love her. Very vocal. Her views are always appreciated. Success Abu Idris, you're welcome again to Inside Out. Well, we can't talk about this without a marriage counselor, can we? Because he sees and hears quite a lot, and so maybe he'll be able to educate us. Please help me welcome Dr. Mustafa. He's a medical doctor and also a marriage counselor. And last, they always say last but not the least, but last and least, because there's nobody else I'm introducing after except maybe myself. Mr. Ayotunde Tayo Balogun, he's an entrepreneur. Sorry, welcome. Okay, let's start the conversation. Somehow I was expecting to have more women on the panel, but I guess there will be more women in the audience to help us discuss this and help us understand. Let me start with the only female, because most of the time when we talk about this, it's usually more from a woman's point of view. But I'd like to know how the men see it as well. So we're going to have a balanced conversation. Success, what's your opinion on marriage today?
Marriage today, I think, is more of a bondage.
More of a bondage?
Yes, most marriages are like bondage. Not all, but most. And we see most of us, we put on the face of, my marriage is working. Most time the women are the people who sacrifice, who wants the marriage to go on. And you see the men doing whatever they want. You see the men, they can go out and stay for hours in the name of working. They can do any business and go into any career, but the woman is not allowed.
Who doesn't allow you?
The husband. The husband will not allow the wife.
Why?
I'm married to you now, I'm the head of the home. So whatever I say is what happens. So
but didn't you know that getting married, that you now have someone who you have to report to? What were your expectations?
Now,
maybe the question is, what does the woman expect as she's getting married?
Now,
what did you think was going to happen?
Okay, personally, when I was going into marriage, my own expectation was my husband, I have a dream, I'm ambitious, that the man I'll get married to will help me achieve my dream. That is, encourage me, to become, and because I have a definition of where I'm going to, I asked him, I'm into music. In fact, most of what I do is public. Can you cope? And, the man said, yes, there's no problem. I said, please go and think. Don't just give me answer. I'll come back and say, no problem. I said, remember your family will say, why is your wife so public? Your friends will come and say, why is your wife public? Your pastor may even say, you are allowing this woman too much. I know what I've seen even while I was still not yet married. Pastors discourage their husband to even allow their wife to carry on their career. So I said,
really?
Yes. I started counting. He said, there's no problem. But unfortunately, when I entered the marriage,
your eye can't clear. So you're saying that the person you were going to get married to, you told him what your dream was.
Yes.
You had a conversation about your future.
Yes.
So when you got married, what then?
When I got married,
yes,
and before you know it, you have to give birth to children. No room. There's no room.
But that's not his fault.
Yes. No, that's not his fault. No room. By the time now you want to start, they don't allow you go once. Before you know it, maybe from friends, and I'm sure for friends, from you are supposed to be doing this. You are not supposed to be going out. Before you know, they start complaining to your friends. They don't have the kind of vision you have. Their own is, just marry, give me 500, 1,000 naira for soup. I'm okay with that. I'm okay. Just my life with that. Now, by the time he now compare you, that they see Chinwe. Chinwe is always at home.
You keep saying, you have just been saying, I've just been listening to her. Everything she has been saying, she has just been saying,
Chinwe is always at home. Chinwe is not going out. Chinwe is not doing this. And you are just jumping from here to here. And that's what I said, didn't I tell you before you got married to me? And before you know it, problem starts.
You have opened, should I say, a can of worms. And you have said a lot of things that a lot of women here have been nodding their head, and I'm surprised, like, really, there's all this. Let me talk to you if you're a man, and you've just heard a woman spill. What is your opinion?
I disagree for some places, she said.
Some of the things she said? Yes, please.
Man remain the head of the family. And when you...
Everybody here, all the women here, as you are talking, they are answering you.
No matter what, man remain the head of the family.
Yes.
So before you go to marriage, you date.
Yes.
Like the girl I married, she was my sales girl, my secretary in the office. When she's working, I see kind of person she is. When I was like, when he was working with me, guests I dated, guests I used to date, they used to come to my office. But when I see some things, you talk about potential, you talk about who she is. I look between two, the one I'm dating and the one who's working for me, kind of guidelines she gives to me. Are
you saying the one you're dating and the one who is working for you will not treat you the same way?
She won't treat me.
You are a boss to one and you are a partner to the other.
Yes,
she continues to be a...
Excuse me.
After the marriage.
Yes, I'm dating one who is working with me.
Yes.
But when I check the one I'm dating and the one who's working with me, the way she behaves, the character, I discovered that she has home training. And I go for her. And when I go for her, I'll tell her what I want. As she said, before you go to marriage, you will see the person you want to date, you want to marry. This is what I want. I myself, I like new children they born now. You talk about they do exclusive family, what do you call it, family friend or whatever.
Yeah, exclusive
okay, now,
breastfeeding, yes.
If you marry someone who's working in the bank, is it the money you will press him and put it inside the bottle to put inside fridge? Is it what you doing?
So you would want your wife to stay at home 24/7?
To take care of my children.
Okay.
At least when the children grow in a little bit, are you getting me? That's why I told her that you will not work when I marry you. After you will have issue for you, oh, my children, I can start some business for you. I don't want you to work for anybody.
Let me ask you, did you ask her what she would like? Because all through this, you have been saying, this is what I want. This is what I want. And I'm asking the question, does it matter what she wants?
Yes, it matters what she wants. As I said, I am the head of family. I'm the one going for her.
Okay.
When I called her, I would like to marry you. I've seen kind of things, I didn't even date her. I've seen some certain things. I talked to her, I would like to marry you, but see what I want. I will not marry a woman I see, like my brother's wife. She work in the bank. In the morning, they will start around 5 o'clock, start pressing inside the bottle. I said, I won't take this.
Okay.
I want a woman I will marry if I'm having 4 children. After my 4 children.
That means for the first maybe 8 years or
10 years, I give her 10 years.
Okay, for the first 10
years. 10
years.
years. Now, I don't want you working here or working here. And she agreed that. First, she loved me. She knows that I can cater the family. She said, no problem, if that's what we'll do. That the money was not too much for her. It's good for 2 of us.
Yeah.
And we agree. We'll go on. But today now, I have one. And I stopped her to work. And she's not working. I didn't intimidate her or maybe you're not working, you're not contributing anything to the family, makes me to talk to her anyhow. I can't do that. Because it's what I want as head of family. And I told her, and she agreed. And we'll move on with it. So I didn't say anything, you will say
and
pastor.
Right now, she's not,
she's not doing anything.
She's happy to sit down at home. You are sure?
Yes, because I provide her things she needs.
It is good to hear your point of, because like I said, we want to hear what people think. I'm interested in hearing what a man thinks from this point of view.
I want every man or woman should know that man is the head of the family.
Okay. So what's the woman?
The woman, he has to contribute.
Is it the woman tail or?
I didn't call my wife tail.
So what is she?
I didn't call my wife tail. My wife is like a assistant. She assists me to carry something.
She's a helper.
She's a helper. Thank you very much. She's a helper to carry anything, carry me along. Are you getting me? She'll be in the house praying for me when I go out in the morning.
Just hold on, because I want to get. I know how you're feeling it, but it is important to understand.
She has to be in the house praying for me. When I'm up there, making the money. That is her work. So my point is, woman should know.
Yes.
Every woman should know. Whatever your husband told you, don't. So woman will say, "How will I?"
You think the reason why a lot of the marriages are
having problems is because they doesn't respect their husband. They doesn't take the word of their husband anymore because they want to work. They want or they don't want husband to give you their money. Some of them maybe they're working in like me. I'm a businessman. I have to marry a woman who's working in the bank. Maybe they're paying $500,000. I'm making 100,000.
You see?
Tomorrow she would like me to stay at home, taking care of the children. It's not proper now. The issue is when you want to get married, try to know who you want to marry. Sit with the person and discuss. Let her know what you want. If she said no, if she told me that she will not stay at home, I bet I know she's not my wife. I'll leave her and find another person that will do something what I want.
Yes. Thank you very much. Let me talk to you. We're going to come back. I'm trying to just get an overview so we get an understanding of how the reasoning is both of the male and of the female. And so I'm going to be talking to you, Mr. Balogun, Tayo Balogun. What is your view?
I think a lot of people have a problem with the fact that the man is the head of the family.
Okay.
I would like to start this way. The family unit is an entity. And when you have something like that, you need to be able to have someone who provides some kind of direction.
Okay.
So if the man is not the head, then the woman has to be the head. One person has to be the head.
Okay.
Now, I don't know. I don't know of. I have never.
Mr. Efai just said no,
So,
never.
No.
I can't say that. No, you should don't put that on one.
He said you
Why would
should
you allow
not
woman
make
to
that
be
kind
head?
of word.
Wait, I'm not done making my point yet. See, I am yet to come across any man who would want a woman to be the head of his family. I'm yet to see any. Men are created like that. I mean, it's not the fault of a man.
Natural.
Now,
It's natural.
the woman is not the tail of the family.
No.
Has anyone ever seen a headstand without a neck? So if there's no neck, the head is useless. So the man is the family, is the head of the family. The man is meant to provide direction. The wife is meant to support the man as far as the family is concerned. Now, talking about how the reason why marriages don't work now, I think it has a lot to do with upbringing, the way people are being raised. So, supporting what the gentleman said earlier, if you have a wife and then you decide to have children and your wife works all the time, who is going to take care of the children? Men are naturally not created to be able to take care of the children like women are. People who are Christians.
I'm trying not to interrupt you, and I just want to let you speak.
Okay, people who are Christians read in the Bible where I don't know if it was Solomon or someone was talking about receiving instruction at the feet of his mother and stuff. There's a level that children get to before men can start to disciple them and train them. This is my opinion. This is my opinion. People are free to differ, but
so where would you place the woman when it comes to, the reason why I'm asking you this is I'm listening to her as a woman who is married and feeling very unfulfilled. I've dealt with a lot of issues on the program. Now, I'm just going to use an example.
Okay.
Yes, the man is the head of the home. Maybe in the earlier days, things were a bit different in the way they married, the year which they married, how early they married, and I'm just going to put that,
okay.
and later I'll be talking to Doc. But I've gone to school. I've spent, how many years did you used to study medicine? No, medicine.
7 years.
7 plus X.
Maybe 7, 8 years of my life. I've done the same kind of thing you have done. Maybe I've even spent longer in school than you.
Yeah.
I got a job as a doctor, which is what I'm trained to do. I came out with a first class in medicine. I'm female. But I want to be settled. I want that family part of me to also be settled. Now, I didn't go to school, spend how many years in primary, plus secondary, plus uni, plus youth service, and I want to be a doctor because I want to contribute. It's not even about money. That's my passion. The way her passion is singing.
Yes.
And then I meet this man. And he wants me to waste all the school fees that my parents, because when I come first in school, or I get a first class, I didn't get a first class, I keep saying this, among women. I got a first class among human beings, male and female. I know I am exceptional at my job, and I am passionate about my job. And I really can contribute to society, because even in society, I have a place. What happens to me when a man who is supposed to add, the way I see it, my question would be, does being the head of the home mean that I cannot be a helper and yet be fulfilled? That's my question.
Well, my answer to you is you can be both.
You can't be both.
You can.
You can. How?
There's trade-off. One, like he rightly said, there's a period for courtship. There's a period for dating people. That's when you know the kind of person you're trying to get into a relationship with. There are men who don't care about having children. And
there
women,
are?
yes, and women who don't care about having children. My point is if I were in your shoes, I came out with a first class, I'm female, and then my passion is to contribute to the...
I will marry.
Not that I would not marry. I would find a man who is willing to put up with whatever it is.
If the man agrees, does that make him, I'm coming to you, sir. If the man agrees, does that make him any less the head of the home?
Of course not. No, when we're talking about the home, for instance...
Because both of you, I've listened to both of you, and the first thing you said is the man is the head of the home. And for all intents and purposes, listen to him, you concord with that. Childbearing, yes, is the woman's job, and child rearing is also the woman's job. Now, if we take it...
Not exclusively.
Huh?
Not exclusively.
Not exclusively. So you are deferring in what he said. He said the first 10 years.
Not necessarily. But I have three kids.
Yes.
I have had to babysit a lot of the time.
Yes.
They're actually some of my...
Sorry, how old are your kids?
The eldest is going to be 9 this month. The younger is 7. Then the youngest will be 4 in October.
Does your wife work?
Yes.
She does?
Yes, she does. She runs her own business.
Okay. So she has time for the children.
Well, it didn't start out like that. She was in paid employment at some point. She didn't have sufficient time for herself, for the kids, or for myself. But there's a phase, and it has to do with being able to agree on things and work together. Like I was trying to say, my youngest child, for instance, would rather have me babysit her than her mother.
Really?
Yes. And I work very high stress job, and it's stressful. A lot of the time I have to go beg my wife and go like, whenever she attempts to come to me, you have to do something to prevent it. But that being able to come to those kind of understandings, that's what marriage is about.
Yes.
So I'm not going to sit somewhere and I have female children. By the time they are old enough to get married, I want them to be fulfilled. But I know that no matter how good a man is, they can't take as much care of the child as the woman would. There's a reason why men don't have the capacity to carry pregnancies. There's a reason why men don't have breasts to breastfeed children. Yeah. There's a reason why things are created the way they are
created.
So what we need to do is to find some level of appropriateness. If the husband and the wife will agree to say, okay, we're not going to have kids, or we're going to wait for the first 5 months, or sorry, 5 years, and then save sufficient money to carry us through the period that we raise children. And where are we going to raise them? But this is, a lot of people just get married because everybody is getting married, or because they see some guy that they like, and maybe he has a few bucks, and they just want to hitch and hook up.
No. Okay. Yeah. Yes.
We are talking about marriage now.
Yes.
We're still talking about love.
Yes.
Nobody sends you to go and read medical or whatever. And then nobody sends you. You choose it. That is what you choose.
I'm interested in what he has. Sorry, yes?
You choose by yourself. You want to go and read medical. We know medical, or what do you call it? Takes many years.
Yes.
I didn't even know the age. You know, there's time for woman, there's an age. There has age.
Yes.
For the entire menopause or whatever they call it. Talk about 40 years or
yes.
Some even 35.
Yeah, no, even comes
okay, if you happen to be, you read a medical doctor, you tell your husband that you are not bearing children for 10 years, you want to go and work and food the bank.